Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday Westside Wellbeing with myself, Jamie, for Coaches for Change. Today, because of the warm weather, we're going to be doing a nice full body mobility stretch and movement. So, on that note, make sure you've got some water on board with you, especially if you're joining us today, because that temperature is very high, but it's always good to have some water by yourself when you are doing exercise. So from here, we're just going to start from the upper body and down, but I just want to really mobilize our spine first and open up those vertebrae. So we're going to go into some spine roll downs. So the hands are going to come next to the hips. We're going to tuck the chin down into the chest, and then you're just going to start to round through the top of the spine, keeping the hands close to the legs, and just roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing the head to become heavy, arms to become heavy. And from here, we're just going to take a little sway side to side, just so we can start to get a little bit of movement through the spine, a little bit of movement through the shoulders. We could swing the arms around in circles. And from here, on your next big inhale and then exhale, start to roll up very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing the head to stay heavy. Roll the shoulders back and lift the head up. And from here, we're just going to roll those shoulders backwards, just to start to get some movement through the shoulder joint and the rotator cuff. Lovely stuff, nice. So from here, we're going to take the right arm out in front of us. You're going to bring it across your torso. You're going to place the left arm just above that right elbow, and start to squeeze that right arm. You can give it a little release and then a little squeeze. And then what we're going to do is add a little rotation in there as well, so we can stretch the outside of the shoulders and just start to rotate through that central part of the spine. Again, just getting a little bit of rotation through the hips as well. Lovely stuff. And on this next repetition, we're just going to rotate all the way around and just hold that position. From here, if you can, turn your head over that right shoulder. And from here, bring everything back centrally. Release that right arm, give the arms a little bit of a swing. And from here, we're going to take that left arm over the torso, hand behind the shoulder, elbow, and we're just going to start to squeeze that arm and then release. Squeeze the arm across. Nice. From here, we're going to start to add that rotation in, so just start to rotate through the hips a little bit into that central spine while squeezing that left elbow. Nice. On the next repetition, we're going to hold that rotation and we're going to turn that neck over that left shoulder, and we'll just hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything centrally and relax. Lovely. So from here, we're just going to do a little bit of neck rotation. So we're just going to take the neck in that nice big full circle, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, because we're going to do both directions. Feel free to close the eyes here for a moment as well. And then when you feel that natural rotation come to an end, start to rotate that neck back in the opposite direction. And we're just going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice. We've really released the neck, bit of the shoulders into that spine. So we're just going to start to get a little bit of blood flow and tension into the shoulders while mobilizing the rotator cuff. So from here, we're going to take the arms out nice and wide, and we're just going to start doing little circles. And as you go through the repetitions, feel free to build those circles a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Nice, so we're just going to keep rotating through here. Nice wide circles now. And we're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. And then from there, we'll take those rotations in the opposite direction. All kinds of pops and clicks going through my shoulders and elbows here, showing that we just need to release that tension. And we're just going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lovely stuff. Give the arms a little bit of a shake. Let the head become heavy. Just give a little swing from side to side. Lovely stuff. So from here, we're going to stretch into the back of the arms. So we're going to take that right arm back behind us. I'm going to rotate myself round, place that palm as close to the center of the spine as you can. Take that left hand on the back of that right elbow and then just gently start to squeeze that arm down the spine. We'll just feel that stretch in the back of that right tricep. Push the head backwards, that spine's nice and long. And we're just going to hold here for 3, 2, and 1. I love this. I can really feel the stretch there. From here, we're going to switch. So we're going to take that left arm up and over the head. Place the palm into the center of the spine or as close as you can. Right arm, hand at the back of the elbow. And then start to squeeze that arm down the spine so you can really feel that stretch into that left tricep. Push the head back so that spine's nice and long, so the head is pushing the arm back and not the opposite way around. And we're just going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, so nice. Feel free to take a little bit of water on board as well if you wish to. Very warm just from doing those few movements. So from here, we're going to open up that stance, outside shoulder width apart. Turn the toes out at 45-degree angles. We're going to do some stretching and contracting into the rib cage and the obliques. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to lengthen that spine and the ribs to start with. So take a nice big inhale, bring the arms up nice and high. Exhale and release the arms down. Nice inhale and lift. Pull that belly button back towards your spine and imagine like you're lifting and zipping up towards your diaphragm so we can lengthen and start to engage the abdominals as well as the spine and the rib cage. Inhale and lift, exhale and down. We're just going to go 2 more of these. Inhale and lift, exhale and down. 1 more repetition. Inhale and lift, exhale and down. Lovely stuff. All right, so from here, we're going to start to get a contraction into the obliques while stretching at the same time. So the left hand's going to come onto the outside of that left thigh. You're going to lift that right arm up and over the head, and as it starts to come over the head, lean into the oblique, slide that left hand down the leg, giving you that support. Allow the head to arch along with the arm. And from here, we're going to elevate all the way back up. Right hand onto the outside of the right thigh, slide that hand down, lift and take that left arm up and over the head. Lovely stuff, and we're going to switch back in that opposite direction. Feeling that stretch through the rib cage. Elevate up and switch back. Lovely stuff, nice. Try and keep that chest nice and open. This is really going to help you identify that shoulder mobility. 1 more on each side. Again, with this kind of movement, I've definitely got more openness through the right shoulder. Then the left shoulder, so really try and rotate that torso, keeping that elbow above the head, and back into the center. Lovely stuff, everyone. So from here, we're going to start to stretch and mobilize the hips a little bit. So keeping that this stance, we're going to pitch forward at the hips. So I want you to imagine like you're sandwiched between 2 planes of glass. Hands can come onto the hips, and you're just going to push the hips back, allowing you to tilt that torso forwards. Lovely. So, and then we're just going to elevate back up. Nice straight torso. Squeeze the hips forwards. And then we go back again. Push the hips backwards. Pitch forward at the hips. Find that range. You'll find you can probably go a little bit deeper as we work through the repetitions. And then push the hips and the head back. So we're going to go 1 more of these with this variation, and you start to find you can get that little bit deeper into those hamstrings and the adductors now. We elevate up, push the hips through, and recenter. Lovely stuff, nice. So from here, what we're going to do is, if you can keep the stance this width, if you want to open up a little bit more, turn the heels out, turn the toes out. From here, we're going to pitch forward at the hips again, but hands are going to be out in front of us. So again, start to push the hips backwards, keeping that nice straight spine. See if you can bring the fingertips down towards the floor. You might need to take them out a little bit further in front of you if you feel like you need that range of movement. And we're just going to hold here. From here, what you do is you're going to walk the hands over to the left foot. Take a hand either side, try and keep nice straight legs so we can stretch deeper into the adductors and start to get a little bit of rotation through the hips and the torso. Gently walk the fingertips over to the other side. And again, sandwich that foot with the fingertips. I'm sliding a little bit here on the mat. Yeah, then we're just going to walk our way back over to that other side. Lovely stuff. We're going to go one more over to the right hand side. You might need to return the toes out if you wish to. Lovely stuff. We walk it back into the centre. Turn the toes in, turn the heels in, turn the toes in, turn the heels in, and then gently lift yourself all the way up. Now, so here we're going to put a little bit of a test into the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, the hip flexors, but we're really going to stretch into the inside of the hips from here. So again, we're sandwiched between that plane of glass, pull the belly button in, lift and zip it up towards your diaphragm. And from here, just start to bend down through the knees, taking it as low as you can. Feel free to place the elbows on the inside of the thighs just to give you that little bit of support. You could squeeze the elbows into the inside of the knees, press the palms together, but you're really going to feel that stretch into the adductors on the inside of the thighs and the hip flexors. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. Pull the belly button back towards your spine. Sit deeper into that movement if you can. Really tuck the tailbone under. And we're just going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Carefully fold the hips forward and lengthen yourself all the way up. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. Take a little bit of water on board as well again. Nice, steady, slow movements today. So again, we're going to keep it with the hips a little bit here, but we're just going to put a little bit more movement and mobilization through them. So stance kind of just outside shoulder width apart. Hands are going to come onto the hips. We're going to lean into the left knee and straighten out that right leg. Lift the hips up, and then we're going to switch into the other side. So this just allows us to work that lateral hip movement and hip mobility. It's going to give us a stretch into the calf on the leg that we're bending into, a stretch into the adductor on the inside of the thigh, in that straight leg. And we're just going to keep working this for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lovely. So we're going to come nice and central. Turn the toes in, turn the heels in. Find that balance. Give those legs a little bit of a shake. So from here, we're just going to test the balance a little bit just to recalibrate everything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lift the right knee straight out in front of us. Latch the fingertips round the base of the knee and the top of the shin. And we're just going to hold here. And again, if you need to find that little bit more balance, if you need to use a chair, put a hand against a wall. If you're doing this someone else, a hand on a shoulder. Nice. And then on now your next big inhale, you're going to squeeze that knee higher up. Nice and strong through that standing left leg. And don't worry if you need to reset and recenter, no problem at all. You're going to find here that I've got a lot more balance in my left leg than my right leg when we switch it over. And we're just going to hold for 3. Whoop, there he says, for 2. And for 1, release. Lovely stuff, everyone. So from here, we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to lift the left knee up, interlace the fingers at the bottom of the knee and the top of the shin. And again, try and keep that hip and knee and ankle aligned. And again, you might need to lean a little bit to one side. There you go. There's that balance that I haven't got on the right side as much as the left. And on your next exhale, when you feel ready, squeeze that knee deeper up in towards the torso. Really try and straighten out through that standing right leg. That's really going to give us some activation through the hip, the outside of the hip, so into your glute med and minimus, into your quad, stretching and lengthening the hamstring in that neutral position, pressing down through the ankle. We're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, so nice. So from here, we're going to take it back. We're going to take it down onto the mat. So take a bit of water on board as well if you wish to. And from here I'm going to turn myself so you can see. So I just want to stretch out the quads here in the front of the legs, so you can tuck the toes under and sit back onto the heels. That's going to stretch out the base of your feet. So we can do that just for a moment. It will give you a little bit of a stretch into the quads, but not massively. And then from here, if you feel comfortable to, you're going to tuck the toes under and you're going to sit back onto those heels. He says he's getting a little bit of cramp in his foot. It's quite warm today. I've used my body quite a lot. Yeah, so he's going to sit back onto those heels if you can. And again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, we can go about a slightly different way. So you can just put the hands onto the mat, stay on the tiptoes, but really squeeze those heels back to stretch into the back of the ankles and the calves. And then we're just going to set the knees down. From here, we're going to come into all fours and we're just going to mobilize the center of the spine again. So from here, all I want you to do is think about lifting and rounding into your mid and upper spine, and then sink that belly button back down towards the floor and just arch into that spine and lift the head slightly. Lift and round into the spine, pull the belly button back, and then sink it back down, arching into that spine. Nice, we're just going to go for 2 more of these. Elevate up, squeeze it back down. Nice, 1 more repetition. Elevate it up, and then squeeze it back down. Lovely, so nice. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck the feet over. We're going to open out the knees slightly, and we're going to go into a bit of a child's pose. So just sit those heels, hips back onto the heels. Allow your head to come down towards the floor. Lengthen the arms straight out in front of you. And again, nice few breaths here. On your exhale, if you feel like you could lengthen the spine and the shoulders, you could creep your fingers forwards. If you feel like you need a deeper stretch into the thighs, you could slide your hands back slightly and sit deeper into those heels and then re-lengthen the arms. And from here, we're just going to get into the hips and the knees a little bit as well, the shoulders and the wrists. So we're just going to elevate up. You're going to allow those hips to push forward, but don't allow them to fall through. Just find that nice, natural, long spine position. And then we rock ourselves back. Lift the hips, gently push them forward. Find that neutral spine. Again, don't allow the hips to sink through like this. If you can feel like you're lengthening through your abdominal muscles, you're probably pushing those hips that little bit too far. Nice straight line from shoulders down to knees. And we're just going to go for 3 more of these. Elevate up, push the hips through. And again, those shoulders probably won't come beyond the wrists, maybe a little bit beyond the wrists, but just don't allow yourself again to push too far into more of that cobra position. Last repetition. Lift and push the hips forwards and push them back, and then just find that nice neutral spine, allowing you to bring the knees together. And again, take a little bit of water on board as well. And from here, we're just going to stretch into the legs. So we're going to sit onto the floor. Another minute or so of stretching and mobility, really just to reset that nervous system, align all the joints, ligaments and tendons. Get a little bit of muscle activation, a little bit of a sweat on today as well. So from here, we're just going to come into our static butterfly seated stretch. So hands are going to come onto the inside of the ankles. Nice long spine, rest the elbows into the inside of the thighs. You could pull the feet closer in towards you if you wish to. You could squeeze the elbows into the inside of the knees. And then from here, you can push the top of your torso forward a little bit, still nice long spine, but it's just going to allow you to apply a little bit more pressure through the shoulders, the elbows, opening up into the hips. Lovely stuff, and then we're just going to release. We're going to close it in, arms come out, open them out, retake hold of the ankles, and then squeeze it in. Nice, and we're just going to work that mobility, so even though we're stretching through the outside, the hips, it's going to give us that little natural rotation inwards before we stretch and squeeze outwards. We're just going to go for 3, 4, 2, and 4, 1. Lovely. So, and slide the legs straight out in front of you. From there, open out nice and wide. Take the hands back behind you. And from here, slide the hips forward a little bit so you can really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take that head back behind you. Keep those legs nice and wide. And from here, we're just going to lift the head back up. And you're just going to start to rock the shoulders backwards and forwards. The hips are nice and open, legs nice and long. Stretching through the forearms and the biceps. And then we just last little bit of mobilization into the shoulders and the base of the neck. And we're just going to go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bring yourself back to a nice comfortable seat position. Bring the knees in towards you. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. Lift the feet off the floor a little bit if you can. Give yourself a little bit of a shake. And rest. Amazing work, everyone. Lovely stuff. Our 20-minute mobility and stretch throughout the full body on this very warm Wednesday. If you're joining us today, it might still be quite warm if you're joining us over the next few days as well. So this is really going to help just reset, move all that tension and release it from the body. De-stress, relax, smile. I've been Jamie from Coaches for Change, here for Westside Wellbeing. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you soon. Have a good day, everyone.